Hey, you! Yeah, you! Make sure to subscribe to watch all my newest videos and join the Clash Bro family. With that being said, if you need gems to build the best base in Clash of Clans, make sure to check out the description down below for cashforapps.com for your iOS or Android, and make sure to use the code ELG to get started with some free points. Enjoy the video! What's up, Clash Bros? Today I'm going to go back to my roots of the channel and show you how to attack that I personally think I am pretty good at. This attack is one of the original attack strategies in the game, and it still works to today. You already know by the title of the video that is a GoWiPe attack strategy. This attack strategy is one that I still use in wars to today. I am currently working on perfecting the GoWiPe attack strategy because that is one that I'm not very good at, but now that I have max witches and max golems for Town Hall 9, I think it's a good time to start learning that strategy. But for now, let me show you the fundamentals of how to attack with the GoWiPe attack strategy. First step in this strategy is to decide what to bring. My personal army composition that I like to use is 3 P.E.K.K.A.s, 2 golems, 15 wizards, 12 wall breakers, 1 barbarian, 2 rage, 2 heal, and 1 poison spell. In my clan castle, I like to bring a witch and wizards. You can tweak this around a little bit to the way you like, but this is what I found that works for me. One thing I like to recommend, if you have low level golems or P.E.K.K.A.s and you know that your clanmates have higher level ones, that you take away one of your P.E.K.K.A.s or golems and put one of theirs in your clan castle. Especially if you have a level 5 perk that increases the level of the donated troops. That will help you more of having a higher level golem or P.E.K.K.A. But if your P.E.K.K.A.s or golems are maxed out for your town hall level, then I personally like having a witch or wizards in my clan castle. How I build my army composition in my barracks is another little trick you can do to help build your army quicker, since this army is very expensive and takes a while to build. In my first barracks, I do 8 wizards and 3 wall breakers. Then in the next 3 barracks, I always put the P.E.K.K.A. in front because it takes the longest to build, and when you have a full army composition, they will build while you're looking for a base, which will be better than having wizards or wall breakers in front that take less time to make. The only difference in the last 3 barracks is the second one I add a barbarian, and the last one I add an extra wizard. That puts all the barracks in around the same time range to finish. In my dark barracks, I just add the golems, and then I add the spells, of course. A personal preference for me is always putting the rage spell in front because it does take longer than the heal spell, and then of course the poison spell. None of that information will help you attack better, but it's a little trick to keep you always attacking, getting more loot, and getting more practice. Gemming your barracks won't hurt either. Now once your army is ready to go, it's time to find the perfect base to attack. This is something of a personal preference for each person, because a lot of it depends on where you like to attack from. Do you like starting your attack from the north, south, east? It all just depends, because some bases are built to be stronger in certain directions, depending on which direction that person gets attacked from the most. That will be something you will need to watch for. When I am looking for a base, I like the bases that have the least amount of compartments. The less time my P.E.K.K.A. spend smacking a wall, the more time they have to take out defenses. But at a higher trophy range, you will not always be able to find that perfect base. Once you find a base that you like, it's time to start your attack. You need to scout the base out before you lay down your troops. This is very important. Take the full 30 seconds to look over the base. Find its weak spots. Find the strong spots. Maybe some defenses on the west side of the base are lower level than the ones on the east. You may need to change the style of your attacking. It's all about adapting to your situation. The first base I found was a perfect base you can find for the GoWiPe attack. One with just 1 giant compartment. Now, if I could have predicted I could have found this base beforehand, I would have not brung 12 wall breakers, because I won't need all of them since there is only 1 set of walls to break through. But since we can't predict which base we will find before we go searching, we will have a few extra wall breakers at the end. As I look around the base, I'm deciding which will be the most effective spot to enter the base, which side has the most defenses, and which side has the strongest defenses. I was going to attack from the southeast side because it had the most defenses, but at the north side, I see he has two Expos right next to each other. I want to take those Expos out first. I'm not too worried about the mortars with the GoWiPe attack strategy because the only troops that it will affect will be my wizards and wall breakers. All of my other troops can withstand a lot of shots from the mortars, so I'm going to attack from the north side. Plus, the town hall will be closer for me to take out as soon as possible, because if this raid does get out of hand, at least I can get 1 or 2 stars. One thing before we start this attack. This raid isn't a good example of it, but for most bases that you attack, a lot of people will pull out the clan castle troops first. But in my eyes, I don't agree with that, because if you leave the clan castle troops on a normal base, the clan castle troops actually help pull your troops into the center. They will most likely go after your golems, which can take a lot of damage, and hopefully they can stay alive long enough for your wizards and other troops to come in for assistance to help the golems out. The poison spell will also help with that as well. Some people disagree with this strategy, but if you get a P.E.K.K.A. or a hero that wants to do the ring around the rosy, the base, your attack will not be nearly as effective. The more help you can get to pull your troops into the center of the base, the better. But for this base, I would actually recommend to pull the clan castle troops first, because you only need to break through 1 set of walls to technically be in the center of the base. But we are going to attack this base like a normal base. When you decide where to attack from, you are going to set your golems down first, setting them farther apart from each other to go after 2 sections of the base, covering as much ground as possible. The more defenses shooting at the golems will give your next level of troops a boost to help move this strategy along. Once you place down your golems, you'll have to immediately start laying down your wall breakers in groups of 2. Spreading them apart as well to go to the section of the wall that the golem is going after. The more holes you have into the base, the more likely your troops will take that route into the base. Once the wall breakers are laid down, don't wait to watch them to see if they have broken into the base, because you'll need to start laying down your wizards along the section of walls that the golems are on to clear out the outside buildings. This is a very important step of the strategy. If any buildings are left on the outside, the more risk you have of grabbing the P.E.K.K.A. or hero's attention to go around the outside. Trying to route your troops to go back into the center of the base is near impossible. Now you have laid down all your wizards to clear out the buildings. Now check to see if you have created a hole for your troops to enter with your wall breakers. If you haven't cleared out a section yet, you'll need to lay down more wall breakers. A little tip to help you lay down wall breakers so they won't die is to time it right. If there is a mortar or a wizard tower shooting at your golems, you'll need to time it just perfect. My advice is when you see the mortar or wizard tower shoot, then lay down your wall breakers. There is a lag between each shot that defenses take. Timing your wall breakers between shots will help you clear out more section of the walls. Wall breakers are very important in this strategy, so wasting them could hurt you in the long run. Once you have got to this point of the strategy, clan castle troops and/or heroes will probably have locked onto your golems. You'll need to time your poison spell just right to grab the most amount of troops possible, and where you think they will stop to attack your golems. I decided to drop my poison spell on my north golem to take out those clan castle troops. Now the clan castle troops split into 2 groups in this situation, but I didn't bring 2 poison spells. I'll need to depend on my troops to take out the rest of the clan castle troops. I immediately drop all 3 of my P.E.K.K.A.s as close to the open section of the base as possible. I can't stress how important it is to make sure your P.E.K.K.A.s and heroes go to the center of the base and not the outside. I then drop a heal spell to keep my golem alive a little bit longer, and then drop both of my heroes. Now is the perfect time to drop all of my troops into the center. I didn't drop them all because of the clan castle troops, but taking out the rest of the clan castle troops is a critical. As you can see, my P.E.K.K.A.s and heroes head to the clan castle troops like a magnet. This is why I believe not taking them out at the beginning is important on a normal base. It is basically your only hope to pull your outside troops back into the center of the base. I go ahead and drop the rest of my troops in my clan castle. After all troops are dropped, you will need to pay attention to 3 things. Your hero's health, that way you can pop their ability when needed, your troops' health, so you can drop a heal spell when needed, and when there is a big section of defenses hitting your troops, so you can drop a rage spell to push your troops through the buildings. I'll go ahead and let this attack play out because I want to show you guys a normal base that you will probably find. But if you can find a base like this, with a bunch of loot if you are farming or a bunch of trophies if you are pushing, then definitely attack it. This base was very easy for me to 3-star. Now I'm going to show you in this attack a little more of a traditional base that you will most likely come across. I always scout the base first. Now one thing I forgot to mention, I would normally like to attack this base from the northwest side. But because this person's Archer Queen is in the direction and will be able to attack my golem almost immediately, I won't attack from that side, because heroes can destroy your golems in a very short amount of time. You may not be able to clear out everything at the beginning to assist your golems in time. My suggestion is to find the next best place to attack from away from the heroes. I would rather face the heroes once all my troops are in the base than at the beginning and have my golem basically defenseless. I decide to attack this base from the northeast side. The way this base is designed, your P.E.K.K.A.s have a very good chance of still going around the base, even if you clear out the outside buildings with your wizards. Having your wall breakers make as many openings as possible will result in a better finish. We will start like normal though, dropping my golems with plenty of space in between them, then dropping wall breakers in groups of 2, following them up with wizards. Once the outside buildings have been cleared out, I do a quick drop of 2 P.E.K.K.A.s on each side, following them up with 2 more groups of wall breakers to follow the P.E.K.K.A.s into the base. I need to clear out 1 more section of walls to guarantee my P.E.K.K.A.s to go into the center. If you watch, I did clear out the top section with the wall breakers, but the bottom wall breakers were taken out by a big bomb. So I decided to drop my last P.E.K.K.A. at the top and then my Barbarian King at the bottom, risking him. I then drop my Queen at the top. Once this happens, Clan Castle troops start coming out. I have to make a quick decision on where they will stop to attack my troops. That's where I will lay down my poison spell. As they jump the first wall, I notice that they have split up again into 2 sections. But luckily they have come back together and I drop my poison spell more north where most of my troops will be. A mistake I made though was dropping too far north, and the bottom archers are able to hit my troops without jumping the wall to get into the radius of my poison spell. Now there have been a few mistakes made, but this is why I said you have to be able to adjust to your situations, because one mistake and you can ruin a raid. But if you can adjust and try to correct that mistake, the raid is never over. I am out of wall breakers for my troops to break into the center compartment, so I drop down a heal and a rage to help my troops get into the center. All of my troops have been laid down except for my Barbarian. If you notice, I always keep my last Barbarian because I use him as a backup in case something doesn't go right. Maybe I need to grab the attention of a defense for a second, or a builder hut got left in a corner, or I think a big bomb is in place where my wizards might walk over it. I always make sure to keep him just in case, adjusting to your situation. Once my P.E.K.K.A.s break into the center and take out the Clan Castle troops, the Archer Queen starts shooting them and grabs their attention, which is another mistake that happened. You never want to see any of your troops leaving the center with buildings still left in it. But because I have enough troops still left, I never worried about this. I just focus on the troops in the center and make sure they can get the job done. I had a rage spell and a heal spell to help them out. Now it's just cleanup time. There is nothing more I can do but cross my fingers. I check all corners to see if I left any buildings. I didn't, so I placed my Barbarian on a building that is farthest away from my troops to help them out. But I pretty much have 3-starred this base. Even though all those mistakes were made, the wall breakers were blown up, I popped my Barbarian King ability by accident, didn't place the poison spell correctly, Archer Queen pulled my P.E.K.K.A.s from the center of the base, and I was still able to 3-star this base. GoWiPe is still one of the strongest and my favorite attack strategies in the game, and I hope you learned a few things about how to use it in this video. And now it's time for everybody's favorite game, Stinky Pinky! It's time to play the game Stinky Pinky, a word game called Stinky Pinky. Everybody loves the game Stinky Pinky. It's time to play the game Stinky Pinky, a word game called Stinky Pinky. I'm the best at Stinky Pinky. Everybody loves the game Stinky Pinky. Stinky Pinky is a wordplay game where you describe 2 words that rhyme, but you can't use those words in the description. If I was to give you smelly finger, you would give me Stinky Pinky. Last video Stinky Pinky was unusual rabbit, and the answer was rare hair. And the person who got the Stinky Pinky correct first was Omar J. Great job, man. Hold your stinky pinky high up in the air. You are today's winner. If you would like to be featured in my next video, all you have to do is be the first person to answer the correct stinky pinky in the comments. This video stinky pinky will be penis personal trainer. If you enjoyed today's video, show all your love by smashing the like button. Want to join the Clash Bro family? All you have to do is subscribe. Don't forget to tell your clanmates about this channel. Hope you guys have a great day. And don't forget, my Clash Bros, to stay beautiful.
Make it drop, honey.